It's like when kids fight and say, my dad could beat your dad up. Do any of you have a really strong dad? Do you have a particularly strong dad? Because I have a really strong dad. And I was always that kid where I was like, oh, no, trust me, my dad could kill your dad. And like, my dad is like, like actual fighter, like for real. Like really can fight people. You're just, yeah, he's huge. I told a story about how my dad took a gun safe that I had in a basement when I was moving one time and just got that up the stairs, and that was heavy. That was one of those ones that was about 5 feet tall. He got that entire, and it was wide, and he got that whole, it was like almost, it was a fridge but shorter, you know? And he got that thing up the stairs. He had one of my brothers, my oldest brother, standing at the top of the stairs, and he was like, just like, you know, slide the top back and forth to make sure that it's going in the right direction, but I'll actually like move it. And he just f***ing got it up the stairs. Gun safes weigh like 500 pounds. Yeah, but my dad's the kind of dude who like used to, do you know what an Atlas stone is? Have you ever watched those strongman competitions? And they have that giant stone, it's just a sphere, and they just lift it off the ground and slap it on top of the thing. My dad does that. Okay? So like, crazy. He's a crazy person, you know? Is he single? He's not. Unfortunately, no. No. He's the kind of dude that if he wanted to, he could probably get like 3 wives or something easily, but he's not that kind of fella. But yeah, he's not available, ladies. I was always very proud of it. I was always very, very proud of it. Like, oh, my dad, he could kill you. And I wouldn't like tell other kids that to threaten them or anything like that, you know? I didn't do the, oh, my dad could beat up your dad out of nowhere thing. But other kids would come to me and go, yeah, my dad's really strong. He's like, meh, 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 meh. And I'd be like, oh, that's cool. And then if the kid said the line or something similar of the, you know, my dad could beat up your dad thing, I would be like, you have no idea. You have no idea. And then one day my dad would actually show up at the school and like pick me up, and they would go, oh! And they would never say it ever again. I wouldn't threaten them with it or anything. They would just see him at some point and go, oh. He's like a huge Viking, you know? How many years of training did it take to be as strong as Giga's dad? I don't know, but when he was young, he used to fight people for money because he needed money. So he used to fight people, and people would bet on him, and he would get a cut of that. Because that was that was what no, he didn't mug people. No, well, it wasn't legal, but it was an agreed upon consent for both sides kind of fight, you know? Definitely not legal, but class, is your dad paladin or berserker? Oh, berserker. My dad's the kind of guy to like yell a lot while he's fighting and like growl and imagine my dad like a nice soft-spoken man who looks scarily large but just soft-spoken, and then he just like hulks out and starts growling and growl because I've heard him when he's done certain athletic feats, right? I would go watch him and he'd like lift something huge and he'd be like like no joke about to bleed, you know? Actually crazy. And then he'd do the thing and he'd be like, oh, that was a pretty good performance. Like he's very like nicely soft-spoken outside of that. It's so scary. I'm used to it, so I'm not scared by it, but I recognize that it's like kind of, I don't know. He appears psychotic a little bit at times. Class, is your mom? Alchemist? She likes science